Hello everyone and welcome back to another beautiful day in Geistal, Austria. We are now in the late August and I am already looking at the cow barn to see what we can do about our animal situation. There is a cow available, but it's not very low. You can see the milk production is very low. It's not very good, sorry. Metabolism is extremely low. Okay, so overall it's a bad cow. But there is a pilgrim which does have, he's a bull from United Kingdom. He is a good breeder quality. Milk production is high. Metabolism is high. Fertility is somewhat low, but I think for a bull it shouldn't be a problem. Health is high and quality is average. So let's buy this one, because we want to have two bulls in our roster. Because if you think about it, we have to have two different animals that can breed. Yeah, see, this one has... The best bull we had actually passed away. And that's a shame, but some of his offspring should be on the way. So that's pretty fine. And in 5 months we're gonna have 4 bulls ready to sell. And we're gonna have 2 adult cows that will be able to mate with the new one, the pilgrim. Right. Okay, so this is how we start our day. Thinking about how cows can do the deed. Yeah. In any case, I'm recording this before the poll went out for what we should do. Do we switch up the fields or do we just keep them as they are, switch the crop? So, because the Steyr is making such an awful noise, I will take it down or up into the shop. I gotta get this one out of the way. And my brother will start doing the checkups. What could be possibly wrong? I do suspect it's the PTO. I've said this multiple times, but I guess I've been doing too sharp turns with the... Where is the PTO? It's gotta be somewhere. In any case, I've been doing too sharp turns with the old forage wagon. And I was rushing because there was rain coming, so I do suspect I've damaged that. Yeah. In any case, my brother's gonna be handling this task. So I'm expecting this is gonna be a job that will take most of his day. And if we find any damage, or if he finds any damage, I did ask him to actually start working on repair. And I will carefully examine what parts are available, because I don't want to make the same mistakes that I made last time, where I went from premium and I paid 18,000. Big money for regular maintenance. At the same time, he is gonna take the front loader bracket off and we're gonna sell it. I did find a buyer, so I'm gonna sell it for 500 euros. And new one was 1500, that means 1500. Okay, so let's take the weight off. So if we get 500 for it, I'm gonna be pretty content. Alright. Well, I'll leave my brother to it, and I'll go down, have a bit of breakfast, and then we're gonna go cultivating the fields. Might even be better if we do some lime before that. I'm gonna have a quick checkup on what we can do, if the fields need any lime, and then we're gonna continue accordingly. Alright, I'm gonna take Father's car to go to the fields. Crap. The battery's out again. Yeah, since he hasn't been using the car at all, and it's just been staying everywhere, it makes it pretty much deplete the battery as quickly as we can fill it. So I guess it's gonna be a good thing that we take the Volkswagen to the fields. Okay, let's start you up. $12.7 volts. Is that good? Yeah. Day-to-day life on a farm. Isn't this nice? Yeah, I keep forgetting that has this beautiful panoramic roof. It's also a room if you think about it, but yeah, it's a nice car. The V-Dub. I wonder when farmers are gonna harvest all the fields. There's quite a lot of wheat and barley still upright, still unharvested. Right, I gotta be mindful that I don't turn the car off, because it might just not start again. Alright, so the pH value is not good. It's okay, but it's not. It could be better. So I'm guessing the rest of the fields are gonna be the same. But just to be sure, I'm gonna have a look at them. Because, you know, hauling all that equipment and lime down doesn't really feel like something I want to do. Okay, so let's make a short trip down into the valley and see what's up with the soil down there. Okay, let's see what this field says. Yeah, again, it's 0.5 of percent or pH value too low. I'm guessing the third field is gonna say the same. Maybe more, maybe less. Let's go and have a look before we do any decision making. And I want to put lime on the ground before I start putting cultivating it in, because the cultivator is gonna mix it nicely in with the soil, and it's gonna retain better, and it's gonna, as said, mix in better and make it more even. So yeah, lime before cultivate, and then sow. Pretty much the way we're gonna go. And it rhymes. Alright, let's see what this field says. Oh, this one's bad. This one's in need of lime even more. Alright, good. So now we know what we're doing today. I did have other plans, but plans change. So it's gonna be a lime day. Alright, and to do this we gotta do a bit of preparation. We gotta put the front loader bucket. And it would be so nice to actually get... Whoa. No, do not drive in the hole. It would be so nice to lease a tractor. I'm gonna have a look around, maybe I can get something to use today, because I want to use the Rigitrack to move the lime. As you've seen, when we previously limed, it was in the beginning of the series, we had quite a lot of trouble because it was too heavy for the Titelmeyer, and I want to keep the old machine running. So let me have a look at what we can get. Nope, sadly there's nothing available. Absolutely nothing useful for us. So I guess I'm gonna have to go the old Titelmeyer route. I don't see any other solution right now. Well, you know, technically there are tractors available, but the lowest price that I could pay for leasing it is like 6,000 euros, and then on top we'd have to pay, I think, 2,500 every hour we use it. It's probably gonna be a few hours, so that's gonna rake up a lot. And looking at our money and looking at the situation that we're gonna have to invest in repairing the tire, you know, doesn't really feel like a smart decision. Not at all. So I guess we're gonna have to postpone the work for a day. There is rain forecasted, but I hope it's gonna be mild enough, or I hope it's gonna be dry in between, so we can actually do the liming. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a better option. We have equipment at home, it's just not really field worthy at the moment. And we're gonna have an answer what's wrong with it, I hope, in, let's say, an hour. 2 hours maybe. So yeah, and I do think this this Volkswagen had enough runtime so we can safely shut it off. And leave it here. Okay. Well, I'll wait for my brother to finish repairing or checking up the tire, and then we'll see where we are standing. Alrighty, so we had one issue detected. It's almost 1 a.m. 1 p.m. Let's have a look what it is. Okay, wheel bearing. Bearing noise. Let's see, so moderate wheel hub bearing wear. Bearing noise and vibration are pronounced, maximum speed is reduced and drivetrain load is increased. 4,000. Look at that, if we take advanced parts, it doubles the price. Quick fix, I don't want that. Let's go with standard. And if we do a used one, it's gonna be 1,400. That's a third of our price around. Aftermarket 2,800, premium 5,000, original. So this has a 33% of defects if we go aftermarket. Premium has 0 chance of defect and it's 5,200. Original is, well, technically it's only 900 less. Do we go with premium? Let's go with premium. Okay, and it's gonna be in the workshop until 5 p.m. Which means we ain't gonna be doing any work today. And we just threw out another 5,200. We already paid around 950 for the inspection materials and everything, so shoot. Right, well, I guess this is gonna be again one of those episodes that we can't really do what we wanted to do. Circumstances changed. I'll take this off. And we're gonna prepare the Rigitrack for loading the lime into the spreader. So the wheel bearing, my expectation that it's a PTO shaft were completely wrong. Who would have thought? Yeah, let me know if you thought that it was a PTO shaft too. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Pay attention to where you're driving. Such a beautiful day outside. Really can't complain. Tittlemar has insufficient system voltage. So that battery is dying too. We're gonna have a graveyard of batteries very soon, I think. Alright, and I have to leave this bay open because we're gonna be taking milk down into the valley in the morning. It ain't gonna be much. The cows are producing less and less, but it is gonna be some. So yeah, I guess I'll see you in the beginning of September. Hopefully with no fines from the government. Yeah. With changing of the months, I always have a bit of a nasty feeling because of what we got fined for in the past. Alright, so we are in the month of September. Let's see what we have in terms of what the government says. Event log, look at that. We're going to another tier pretty soon. Event log, let's see. September, 5 points. Natural grazing, we got paid out 247. Okay. Alright, well, nothing out of the ordinary. So let's keep on keeping on. Remind me again, it's November for manure management. If we continue like this, we're gonna be in another tier fairly soon, I think. And that, I believe, is gonna be a tier B. Which I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I guess it's better. And on the other hand, we did get the Steyr fixed. So that's good. And now I gotta take care of selling the milk. I won't bore you with this chore, so I'll just see you down in the valley. So we can together be... And I crashed the car. Well, I'm gonna have to go get father out. He ain't gonna be happy. Well, as I suspected, he wasn't too happy, but he also wasn't too pissed. I was expecting him to lose his mind. I don't know. Maybe it is something to that when you have a terrible experience with health. You start to appreciate things differently. And all of a sudden, having your car in tip-top shape is not the highest priority or the most serious thing that can happen. So I'm gonna give him my insurance policy and we're gonna get it fixed from there. This is why insurance is for, right? Okay, 1,300 for the milk. Let's go back. Ready. Now we'll try and connect or put the spreader unit onto our Steyr and put it to the test if my brother actually fixed it as he should. Hope he did. Otherwise, that wasn't really money well spent. Okay, and I have to move this one out of the way so I can access that spreader. It feels like I'm just moving stuff around and not really accomplishing anything drastic. And this is the spreader unit. Perfect. Now we should be able to access it without any issues. So let's see how we can turn this bad boy around, and let's try and hear if the noises went away, because that would be a pretty much desired outcome. Yeah, the bracket for the front loader arm stayed on. Forgot to connect the weight. Because Matthias didn't really have time to take it off. He was working late last night, so yeah. We're gonna dismantle it when the time is right. At least when we get a buyer or something like that. But I don't know, it feels like we are not hearing that noise anymore. Are we hearing any other noise? Yeah, if this train of defects continues, I'm gonna be like those old mechanics when they came into the shop, tasted the oil and said, yep, it's gotta need new electrical. What? How in the world? How in the world did you know that? There's a short shower forecasted for in about an hour. So I'm gonna park this under cover over here, wait to shower out, and then we're gonna do the loading and everything else. So yeah, I'm gonna go inside, make myself a cup of coffee, and I'll be right back. Well, in the end, that short shower lasted for 2.5 hours. And it's over. Perfect. Yeah, that was... and it was storm, right? We had thunder, we had some rumble going on. A truly stormy night. And now let's see if this is gonna be any better opposed to what we had previously. Because if you remember, previously we used the Zettelmeier, that old baby over there, to load the lime, and we used the old Fendt to run the spreader unit. Now we have this. Dun dun dun. I really wonder. Well, by first glance it handles the weight a lot better than the Zettelmeier. I don't really have the feeling... Okay, good. So yeah, Phoenix Aura, you were eager to see how the front loader work is gonna go with this, and I present you the lime loading. And we're done already. Yeah, this is a lot better than it was with the Zettelmeier, I ain't gonna lie. And this tire should also handle the weight a lot better than the Fendt did. It's also a heavier tractor. Nah, I forgot to close it up. That's okay. In any case, beacon on, and I'll see you up at the field. Alrighty, so this is gonna be all the fields that I wanted to do lime on. Limed. Okay, and just... do I even do that? Yeah, while we're here. And perfect. Alrighty, wow, this was quite an episode, I think. We bumped the personal vehicles together. Well, I did, not we. And I have even parked the Volkswagen where it was hit, so can't really blame anyone else except me, myself, and I. But yeah, next time we'll definitely be able to start doing the cultivation, and at the end of September we're gonna have to move the cows back into the barn and put some cover crop in the ground. I think flowering mixture is only available for seeding until the end of September, but we can do the mixed catch crop up until the end of October, so there's still time to do that. But otherwise the tractor is alright now. There are no funny sounds. There is no rubbing, and the top speed is 53 as it's designated to be. So yeah, I gotta hand it to my brother. He really did fix it as it was needed. And yeah, I did I did start using a bit of a shortcut. It's a path that goes through our forest, and it brings us straight up to the farm. So that's another good thing that I kinda figured out. And it's not too difficult of a climb, you know, it's not too steep. It goes by the shed where we found the Jeep in. So yeah, pretty much perfect. Yeah, I really can feel the power. 302 horsepower. If it still has that many. In any case, I'm gonna park this back into the shed. I'll leave the lime in since it is pretty dry now, and it is going to be stored in a dry place. I'm not expecting any clumps up. The weight off. Cover it up so it doesn't get moisturized. And yeah, I think it's a good time to crack a cold one now. A beer, that is. It's a nice 24 degrees Celsius, so it's a nice day overall. And I think it's time to start planning for the future a bit, to see when the best time to sell our wheat and canola is, and when the best time to sell the alfalfa and clover hay is. We are gonna have to keep some for the animals because the herd is getting bigger, and we are just around the corner until we get some more birds. But otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna put the Regitrack undercover later on today. So thank you all for watching. Hope you had fun. And join me next time where we continue with this adventure, which I do believe will come to an end pretty soon, because father is getting better and he's gonna be able to take the farm back under his wing, so to speak. and I'll be able to return back to being an owner of a tech company. How exciting. Unless something more exciting happens. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you had fun, and see you next time. Take care, and goodbye.